Josep Maria del Vaz, Director of the Unit of Health and Nutrition of Eurecat Technological Center in Catalonia. Welcome, Josep Maria. Hello, hi, good morning. Hello, how are you? Well, yes, indeed, very well. Well, we'll be talking now about what's been going on in these 2 months. First of all, let us say hi to Biotza Gutierrez, Coordinator of Preventomics and Project Manager of Eurecat. Miss Gutierrez, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Good morning. I'm delighted to be here once again. I see you all smiling, full of energy, full of strength. Is this, Josep Maria, because, yes, the pandemic also has not prevented Preventomics to get to its end, at least at the first stage? Indeed, that's the case, indeed, yes. The most difficult part, which was the execution of the project itself, has been completed. It's been very difficult, as you said, because we have had to have a pandemic in the middle of it, and for a project that's based on interventions in volunteers. That means, well, practically 500 volunteers throughout Europe. Highly complex, and furthermore, all it entails about biological samples, the circulation of these samples in the midst of a state of alarm because of biological material of the samples. So yes, we've had to overcome many, many hurdles. It's been especially complicated. And what are the main goals? The main goals of this Preventomics study. Some people will say Preventomics, what a weird name. What is it? What are the main goals? Well, the main goal, I believe, yes, is based on 3 pillars, a combination of 3 pillars. On the one hand, we have being able to give dietary recommendations that are more personalized, but taking into account or adding as well the analysis of the metabolism. And then one had to combine this with other data of the volunteers, genetic data, then lifestyle habits, physical activity, consumption patterns. And the third pillar has to do with validating all this and see how these recommendations could get to the users through different business models, through the supermarket, having a full personalization of the shopping list, of the supermarket shopping, and try to personalize going beyond the, well, or home delivery as well. And also, how could it help improve and help nutritionists go for plans that are better, personalized, although I repeat the word, but adapted to the current situation. Yes, that's essential, isn't it? We know what we have to eat, but now that we have the list, where do we get the things and where can they bring us the food? We talked about it in Madrid, right? To make life easier for us, delivery. Because the fact of going shopping, the fact of cooking in this stressful modern life that we have, sometimes we don't have time for this and it's difficult. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Listen, and what about the selection of volunteers, Josep Maria? How, and having said this as well, having seen the experience, have these volunteers had good feedback regarding the project? Yes, truth be told, it was relatively easy compared to other types of studies that are more specific and require a type of volunteer that's very, very specific. Here we were looking for people essentially that were interested in improving their food habits and exploring the concepts of personalized nutrition. We've had different experiences. We have carried out a number of different studies, as Biotza said, with different goals and in different countries. And also in different situations. For example, in the case of the application of the system for professionals, for professional dietitians, it was carried out both in Poland and the UK. In Poland, the COVID pandemic really affected the country very much indeed, and they had more difficulties to find volunteers. In the UK, they actually had to stop. They could not start the trial because in the facilities where this was taking place, they were only devoting time to COVID studying and projects. And then when they started, the response was what it was, but there was very good follow-up of the volunteers. In our case, very similar, I would say. It was an avalanche of requests. people extremely interested in testing these personalized nutrition concepts. And, well, I would say people interested in seeing how they could become empowered and how they could improve feeding and the elaboration of the shopping list according to their metabolic status. Yes, we're going to be talking then of 3 countries, Poland, Spain, UK, Denmark. We also have to add Denmark, but they're all very different, aren't they? Yep. What people eat in the UK and here has nothing at all to do. And what people eat in Poland, I only went once. I can't say much. I've not been to Denmark. But I guess that the consumer and the professional dietitian in Poland or the professional in the Mediterranean in Spain, well, it must differ, right? I mean, how can we unite and combine the results obtained in Poland, Denmark, UK, Spain, how to get them all together in one single set, or do we go country by country? First and foremost, country by country. Let us go step by step and see what happened in one place and another. You have to think that the studies that were carried out in Poland and the UK are twin studies. However, the results obtained were very different. And on the one hand, that was due to this variability I mentioned of the populations, but also because of the way in which dietitians interpreted the results of the analysis and offered recommendations and communicated the reason for those recommendations to the volunteers. After that, we're going to be going step by step. First, see what happened in each study, and then we will go for generalizations and obtain more general conclusions. Yes, of course. We're at the end of the first quarter. It's like a basketball match, isn't it? I don't know how many quarters they might have in this match. I guess yours has, they even go for extra time, don't they? Oh, yes. In fact, that's just it. I mean, the execution has been completed. We're not going to do much more. But with all the data we accumulated, all the information, really, we were talking about it in the end of project meeting. We have information to keep on working at least for 3 further years. So truly, it's been fruitful. We will have continuity. Yes, indeed. And the next step, Biotza, what would the next step be if, at least with what you have in your schedule, then what would the next step be? Well, the most urgent step is, as Giuseppe was saying, we have so many data. We have to really integrate data and get them structured as to different fields. But yes, we have advanced in communications within the consortium, also somewhat more exploitation, see how we can do that slowly and gradually in Preventomics. And then, well, part is Preventomics, of course, but we can modulate all that because we want to make sure that we can have at least midterm applications. And then it depends somewhat, or starts, better said, with conversations about exploitation and marketing with the partners, especially the partners of the project. Yes, one always looks for dates. So when will the Holy Sagrada Familia building be completed? When will the works in the Barca Stadium be completed? Or when will they finish building the new Madrid Stadium, which seems to be soon? When will we have the tool? When will I be able to consume what my body must consume? And when will I have that delivery and the takeaway services available for my metabolism? Do you have any deadline, Josep Maria, in your mind? And obviously, as to the Preventomics project in general, have you set yourselves, despite all the work, of course, I guess you could go on, but have you set any deadline? Not really for the time being. We need to go into this deeply. We have to go into the results in depth and see the details, because the details are really very important, and it's what might make a recommendation be efficient or not. And what we don't want to do is be in a hurry and launch a system that eventually, in the long run, can be negative, or for us to lose credibility because we were in a hurry and we made this be operational before it had to be. We have to study some aspects in depth. I'm very cautious with all these things, really very cautious. And in the crystal ball, it's difficult to know what's going to happen. Yeah, but this Biotza gives us, the reason, justifies that we meet again and talk about Preventomics. Tell us. Yes, I'd like to say what we have been able to validate as to the different business models is the maturity and the possibility of actually getting to the people or for it to be applied in a more general, available manner, not only within a scientific framework. It is true that the business model that has to do more with delivery, that is home delivery of food, logistically for the businesses, for the companies, right now is not so mature as maybe the fact of having contact with professional nutritionists and Preventomics and professional nutritionists. This is important as well, and it gives you an idea of the scope and also of the level of acceptance of Preventomics and what the faster cases can be. And there, yes, we would have a closer deadline. What's very clear, however, is that yes, we will have this, right? In 2024, 2025, never mind, 2026. But yes, there will be a date in which this will come to us all. We will have delivery for companies, delivery to homes of the people. People will eat healthier food. People will eat better. And we'll say this again, we are what we eat. We will have better health. We will live longer. Yeah, but listen, have a look. We are, in fact, detecting that elderly people do not eat well. What I mean by this, they don't have time maybe, they find it difficult. Well, they tend to be alone at home. Sometimes they have, frailty problems. They can't follow an adequate nutrition. They can't go shopping. Yes, so if it's home delivery, things change completely. Yes, indeed. And then we really have to work a lot on this because, for example, in our joint issue, right? As to the joints, there's a key role of glycosaminoglycans. They form the cartilage. So food is so important for these glycosaminoglycans. What a word, doctor. Yes, but it's so simple. It's joint cartilage. What we have in our joints is made up of cells, yeah? Those are the chondrocytes, and then you have the road, so to speak, is the extracellular matrix, and this is made of proteoglycans, basically, hyaluronic acid, and then we also have chondrocytin sulfate and something else. So you have these elastic properties, right, in this matrix, and these properties are the movement properties. So what one eats plays a key role, and this has not really been intensively studied, so we have so many applications. I would like to add something to this, both with Biotz and Josep Maria. At the foundation, we have felt really happy and comfortable participating in this project. Thank you, the same to you. Yes, listen, well, we talk, we see each other, we'll keep moving forward and meeting again with Preventomics. Thank you, Biotz. Thank you, Josep Maria. Big hug, see you. Goodbye.